Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me online today. I'm Georgia, your host, and I'm really excited to be presenting on lead generation to you, as I believe that this is one of the most talked about topics for marketing within the finance industry. So with so many different lead generation sources available, including different mediums and platforms on offer, I understand that it can become quite confusing and overwhelming to know which platform is going to generate you the best return on your investment. So for those that don't know me, I am the marketing coach here at Your Client Matters, and I work closely with our partners, who are the brokers using our programs, to help them achieve their business and marketing objectives by assisting them learn and implement the ideas and strategies that YCM has been teaching since 2004. Now, of course, the finance industry and marketing options have changed over the last 15 to 20 odd years, but so has YCM. But we do constantly review our product, systems, training and results, and strive to innovate with the ultimate aim of assisting our brokers achieve their business objectives. So for those online today who may not have heard about YCM, we do specialise in marketing for mortgage brokers. We've all experienced the ups and the downs in business, no doubt. We all have. And while the most significant in the last 2 decades would have been during the GFC, if you were around then, the Royal Commission into banking only a few years ago, and well, most recently, the disruption and the craziness that come with COVID. During all these crazy times, one thing that we did not change at YCM, actually we increased it, was our marketing. We followed a tightly planned and systemized marketing strategy to increase our communication to our partners and our mortgage brokers. So everything I'm going to teach you today, we do ourselves. So please, if you do have any questions, I do encourage you to put them in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. So whatever brought you here today, I am confident that we do have something special to share with you. At the end of this webinar, one of 3 things are probably going to happen. The first one, you'll want to learn more about how YCM can assist you achieve your business and marketing objectives. And then you may want to have a personal consultation with our marketing specialists to see whether we can help you and your business or not. And if so, you will be given the opportunity to book into our diaries at the end of the webinar. The second option, that you'll take the information on board, try some new things from what you have learned today and continue to join us for our future webinars. The third option, you'll do nothing, and that is perfectly fine if you are happy with where your business is at right now. However, if you're not achieving your business goals and you do nothing, then nothing's going to change. So I really hope you don't pick this one. I will also mention that our fact sheet on marketing strategies for business growth will also be available to those that stay online with me until the end of today's webinar, and then request it in the survey that we will be sending out post the webinar today. So without saying any more, let's get started on today's topic of optimizing your lead generation and conversion. So during today's webinar, I will be covering a variety of different things. The first one we're going to go through is the lead generation process, and then how this integrates with other stages of the sales funnel. The common experience faced by mortgage brokers when they want to acquire not only new leads, but quality new leads. The third one, the range of lead generation sources on offer to mortgage brokers. And last but certainly not least is how to define your lead generation plan and the considerations surrounding making these decisions. I should also mention that I do have Christy, our BDM, online with me today, and she will be monitoring the chat room on your right-hand side. So we do encourage you to ask any questions that you do have along the way. Now, I'm sure you would have all seen many sales funnels, and while all vary slightly, their purpose will remain the same. So majority map out the various stages of a prospect's journey from first identifying them all the way through until they do business with you. So the key elements that can be seen on your screen are acquire, capture, engage, qualify, and then the last one, close. So for the purpose of today's webinar, we will be focusing on the first stage of acquiring prospects. So one thing that you do need to keep in mind during this webinar and when selecting your lead generation source is how and why that your clients may be interacting and engaging with you. So a study undertaken by Blue Wire Media investigated how and why consumers interact across digital platforms. the results showed that only 75% were searching for information, 23% were comparing products and services to their competitors, while only 2% were ready to take action immediately. So with this being said, it does increase the importance of mapping out the various stages and journey of the newly acquired lead to ensure you don't let them slip away. It is safe to say that it is therefore important that any lead generation strategy is supplemented by a full sales process to ensure that the conversion of these newfound leads is therefore increased, and therefore increase your return on your investment. So based upon the Blue Wire Media statistics, with a complete sales process, we now have the opportunity to increase your conversion from approximately 2% to more sustainable percentages in the teens. So let's say around that 15% mark. Now we do acknowledge that these additional sales may take place over time, say over the next 6 to 18 months. However, given the lead generation stage is where we generally exert the most time, energy, and then of course investment, it seems the most logical to supplement any good lead generation strategy with a complete sales process. So without a complete sales process, we are in effect burning these newfound leads, placing additional reliance on generating additional leads to find the next 2%. So while we only may be focusing on the acquire stage in this webinar, and we won't be going through these additional stages of the sales process to increase your conversion, if you want to find out more, you can either look to attend our future webinars that we will talk about this in a bit more detail, or you can discuss it with one of our consultants who will be able to share that additional information with you. So the common experiences that we see with brokers during their acquisition stage of lead generation, I want to go through these now with you. So you will probably resonate with a couple of them, or some of them may sound familiar. So the first one is the inconsistent lead generation. So you might be struggling to get enough leads to feed your growing team, or failing to obtain consistent leads and results from your lead generation activities to substantially increase your business growth. The second one is no deliberate plan from when the prospect is being first identified through until they do business with you. So you have a strong expertise in broking, but marketing isn't driving the quality leads that you desire. The third one, you might have lost the ultimate goal. So you end up implementing a whole bunch of disconnected tactics that are not tightly aligned with the ultimate goal. So we like to call this the shiny object syndrome, where you jump at the idea of the new product that is promised to deliver on your objective without fully researching and weighing up the pros and the cons of that product. The fourth one is no tracking of the results or your spend. So we find that many brokers are paying way too much for leads that they purchased. And many do report a low conversion and tell us that the leads are not qualified, or they've already spoken to other brokers. So we do hear two different sides to this one. They purchase 10 qualified leads and convert 2, and then of course may be happy with that outcome. However, what is typically missed is that nurturing system to convert the 8 that didn't convert into business straight away. However, they may convert within the next 6 to 18 months. So then of course what they are lacking is that nurture system to stay in touch and to further qualify the client when they are ready for a loan. So although they weren't ready to buy from you at that point, you do need to educate and groom them so when the time comes that you are the mortgage broker that they contact. So with these things being considered, this leads me to my next slide. So before you commence any lead generation activity, there are a few things that you do need to consider. The first one, your overall strategy. So what is your intent of your lead generation strategy, including who is your target? What are they likely to be interested in? What are you able to offer them so that they wish to engage with you? And how will you engage with them to demonstrate that you're able to help them achieve their objectives? The quality of your strategy is likely to be directly proportional to the conversion of your newfound leads. The second one is your lead generation source. So once you have determined your target market and you understand their personality and actions, you will then be in a position to know where to find them. It needs to be suitable and appropriate for your target market that you are trying to reach. So for an example, investing time and money into LinkedIn ad, if your desired target audience is families looking at upgrading or downgrading, would not be the best decision or selection of lead generation source. LinkedIn, however, could be a good source of leads if you do specialize in business finance and are looking to attract small businesses looking for cash flow or equipment financing. The third one, the products that you are going to utilize with your lead generation strategy. So successful lead generation requires the utilization of quality products. So these typically include some form of lead magnet that will then attract the prospect to engage and interact with you. So examples of products may include a booklet providing information to first-time buyers, investors, fact sheets on a particular topic that aligns with your target market, or it might even be a direct service offering them a free review of their current finance arrangements. Importantly, it is going to be something that directly relates to that target market. And then of course, the fourth one, the systems to deliver the lead generation strategy. So this may be the utilization of some software and applications beyond your marketing medium that you are utilizing. So to help capture the prospect's details through to delivering your product or that lead magnet. So importantly, your systems need to be able to track and measure so that you're then in a position to track and measure the success of that particular lead generation strategy. So YCM has established its business and programs around the principle that the success of any initiative needs to include a strong strategy, products, and systems to deliver that long-term business growth and success. You cannot generate long-term business growth by just utilizing products alone. So selecting your lead generation source. When speaking about lead generation, we generally feel as though the different sources can be broken into 6 different categories. Now, to be realistic, I could dedicate a full webinar to each of these sources today. These webinars are available to those that join one of our marketing programs. Therefore, in today's webinar, I will be just going through each of these at a very high level within the webinar. Now, I want to express that every business is different, and therefore the most appropriate lead generation source to be utilized will vary from business to business. So the lead generation source utilized by one business may not necessarily suit your business and seeing your unique objectives. So it is also probably worth mentioning now that the successful brokers that we have worked with who consistently generate new leads typically utilize more than just one lead generation source within their business. As a business, we do not want to place all our eggs in one basket because one day that source of leads could change and those leads may not be longer available. So the current market and the current environment probably best demonstrates this with the changing legislation. So around many of the digital platforms about what is able to be shared and how information may be utilised around targeting prospects. So as long as Facebook has been around, they seem to continually be changing the way that they do things, and this is unlikely to change within the future. Therefore, we do recommend that you be utilising at least 2 of these lead generation sources that I will be covering today to ensure the consistent generation of your new prospects. So I will now list each of the lead sources on your screen, and we will go through these in a little more detail together. So there's word of mouth, strategic partnerships, events, the internet, social media, and advertising. So let's start with word of mouth. This is a lead generation source that all businesses should be utilising. We find that many businesses think to successfully utilize this lead generation source that they need to deliver great service and automatically they will be referred business from their past clients. We all want our past clients to become raving advocates of our business. However, it is not the nature of the majority of people. So generally our clients by nature will only speak about our business if they receive an overwhelming good experience or overwhelming bad experience. So what about all of the clients that sit in the middle? So what is the most effective way of generating word of mouth inquiry? Is it simply just asking our clients for referrals whenever we have the opportunity? It is our experience that many of our brokers find it uncomfortable when asking their family, their friends, or even past clients for referrals. This is despite a recent study that found 92% of people rely on their family, friends, and colleagues to help them generate word of mouth referrals. The same study reinforcing that small businesses generated 85% of their new customers via word of mouth. What most of our brokers are surprised by is that there are strategies to increase the word of mouth lead generation that do not require a direct approach. So there is a way to overcome that awkward moment of asking someone if they're able to refer more business. So what are the strategies that are able to deliver word of mouth inquiries in a much more subtle, less direct approach than target those clients that sit in the middle? So what we have found, there are a number of ways to increase word of mouth. So you can incorporate into your delivery process a request for your clients to provide a review of your services. So these typically form the basis of Google reviews and Yelp reviews. There are, however, other review sites including Facebook and local area review sites. You just need to determine where the majority of clients are likely to go to your source to source such reviews. So asking a client to complete a survey at the end of your service delivery that also includes the opportunity for them to provide any referrals. So this is effective because you're asking the client a series of questions rather than just for a direct referral. Subtly presenting your clients with opportunities within your general communication to be rewarded for providing referrals. So we have many strategies that are delivered around the competition that we run for our brokers. This competition provides the broker's clients with the opportunity to win a substantial prize in return for providing the detail of a possible new clients, while also collecting other key information about that client, about their particular circumstance. So we do believe that this should continue to be one of your lead generation sources that all businesses should utilize. It is just a matter of continuing the use and more subtle ways to increase its effectiveness. It also should be complemented by at least one other lead generation source. So referral partnerships. We find that this one is one of the most successful lead generation strategies that are utilised by our brokers. So when successfully implemented, it can consistently generate new leads. We find that many brokers that have tried to implement this strategy, however, it has either delivered mixed results or very disappointing results. So we have found the reason for this to be the case is because there is no formal system in place for the partners to refer you business. So it is not sufficient enough to have a handshake arrangement with your referral partner that they will refer you business when you have a client who may require your services, and then in return that you will do the same for their business. So remember, most businesses do struggle to ask their clients for referrals, and in many businesses many businesses do lack the confidence that extends to their ability to refer others to someone else's business, or they simply forget over time to refer your business as they are focused on creating additional clients for their own business. So a formal strategy needs to be put in place to ensure an ongoing relationship can be maintained that delivers results to both parties. So with a formal strategy implemented, significant results can be generated. One of our brokers, Matthew, generated over 70 new leads in his first 3 weeks of using our referral partner strategy, and he was so busy that he had to stop the system to catch up on delivering his high level of quality service. He now has turned the system and the strategy back on and off as he generates new leads. So there are a number of parts for a referral system to work. The first one is the selection of the appropriate partner. So then, of course, this will depend on your business, your existing relationships, and the objectives that you wish to achieve from the strategy. Appropriate partners can be wide-ranging in nature, and we have seen success from a variety of relationships, from accountants and conveyors who are already talking to their clients about property, to even hairdressers and other service providers. While accountants are likely to spend more or to send more qualified leads to you, your hairdresser may send more leads that are less qualified, but they will see significantly more people in the same period of time. The second one, demonstrating the benefits to the partner in being a referral relationship. So for long-term success, the partner needs to see the benefits to not only themselves, but their clients. So when they start seeing the benefits that they will then be incentivized to continue the relationship over the longer term. The third one is having a strong referral process. So we've already acknowledged that it's unlikely that the referral partner is going to verbally refer business to you. So you do need to put in place a referral process that operates outside of the practice. So we have developed processes that utilize a variety of products that will assist in capturing a new prospect's details without the need for a verbal referral. So this may include a series of physical products or collateral that includes flyers, magazines, and posters promoting their relationship. And the fourth one, tracking system. So with all lead generation systems, we need to be able to track the results and allow the partner to see the benefits of the relationship. So with the establishment of a referral partnership with a like-minded complementary business, you can gain access to a large number of potential clients who are most likely in need of your services. Over the years, we have found that this lead generation source works best with accountants. Matthew now consistently generates on average 30 leads per month from his accountant, of which 20 people qualify into his diary, and 10 to 15 couples settle business with him in the next 3 months. So it's pretty awesome. Now, events. So traditionally, when we think about events, we think about those physical events such as fetes, community events, networking groups such as BNI, and trade, show, and fairs. So community events. Historically, these have the opportunity to generate a significant number of leads in a very short time. It is important to note, however, that if these are a one-off, they will not continuously generate new leads without further attendance at these events. So many of these events, however, are only annual events. So for example, your school fetes. And then therefore, they offer the opportunity for a one-off boost in that new lead generation. So when attending physical events, their success will largely be dependent on the quality of your lead magnet to attract attendees to your stand and your lead capture mechanism to ensure that you actually obtain the contact details of those who are attracted. There are varying products and collateral that can be utilized to attract attendees to your stand. However, the more difficult aspect here is, of course, capturing their details. We have found in the past that competitions have been the most successful in capturing attendees' details. One of our brokers, Sandra, who had very minimal clients on her database, saw this as an opportunity to acquire some new leads, and needless to say, that is exactly what happened. So from a one-day event, Sandra generated over 1,007 new leads. And the best bit? All the clients completed their details online, which meant no data entry for Sandra. So it's a pretty awesome result from implementing a simple lead generation capture mechanism and having an incentive for the client to leave their contact details. While only a few will convert to immediate business, with a disciplined engagement strategy, many of these will convert to business over the following years. So we have many examples of where these strategies have been very successful. Educational events. So another form of event includes conducting educational events where you share your knowledge and expertise with your target audience, like this one you're attending today. So while these events are likely to capture fewer leads, they are likely to attract more qualified leads, given you are likely to be talking about a specific issue. So we have found that these are to be one of the most successful for our brokers. However, acknowledge that there is significant more upfront time and work required to conduct these events, as you are required to generate the content and be comfortable presenting to a group of people. Now, with recent events and restrictions on people gathering in physical locations, this has supported a move to online events, which are now easily able to be held with technology. There is a number of applications available to hold online events. While at fetes, there are generally plenty of people in attendance, as the organiser of the fete has done all the hard work in attracting them to attend that event. And the difficulty for you is then capturing their details for educational events, but this is opposite. You will concentrate your efforts on generating people to attend the event, and the simple thing here is obtaining their details, as this is required for them to register for the event. So to generate interest for the event that you are likely to rely on one or more or other lead generation mechanisms to generate interest in your educational event. So these could be asking one of your referral partners to send out an electronic direct mail, so an EDM campaign, promoting your webinar, promoting the webinar on social media posts, or even utilising one of the digital advertising channels. So the content of your event needs to be relevant to your target audience, and you do need to distribute awareness for the event through a channel utilised by your target audience. So within the webinar, the target audience needs to learn something new to trigger their interest, in the hope that then they will inquire about further information with you. So the success of educational events also relies on your before and after communication, and of course your sales process and your ability to nurture them through to eventually doing business with you. Now the internet. To be successful in generating leads through the internet, it all starts with an online presence. So when talking about the internet for lead generation, we will focus on Google, given that it is the world's largest search engine, accounting for more than 92% of the world's internet searches. The aim of obtaining leads through the internet is to drive traffic to your digital presence in the form of either a website or a landing page. So driving traffic to your website can occur in two different ways, organically or through an advertisement. So let's focus on organic results. The intent here being that when people search for your business or for information that relates to your business, your objective is to appear as high as possible in the organic search results, being the results that appear under the Google Ads, and ideally on the first page of the search results. So this is very important, as very few navigate beyond that first page or even the second page of the search results. So that's the higher you appear in the search results, the higher the probability that the person is going to click through to your website or your landing page. So to achieve as high as possible organic search, you need to work on your search engine optimization, commonly known as SEO. So a successful SEO strategy has many parts to it and includes the words in your URL, so your domain name, the content on your website, the information that is stored in your title tag and metadata, your use of internal linking, the number of backlinks to your website from other websites, and then of course, how regular are you with posting new content. So Google is endeavouring the match of keywords within the topic being searched with the details within each of these categories. Now let's move on to paid advertising, so Google AdWords. If you are looking to obtain the best possible search result, that you can pay to appear at the very top. So 5 ads appear above the organic results when you do a Google search. So rather than rely on the information contained within your website to determine the results, you purchase the opportunity to be displayed above the organic results based upon your key selected words. So for example, home loan refinance. The key here is to select the words that your target market are likely to be searching for that link to the services that you will then be providing. However, while each of these may increase your visibility on the internet, visibility is not everything. However, if you are unable to capture the details of those visiting your website or landing pages, you will then be relying on the prospect contacting you in relation to your services. Now, we all know the probability of this occurring is likely to be very low, particularly when we already know that 75% of the people searching the internet are only after the information. Therefore, without that lead capture technique being put in place on your website or your landing page, the money spent could be fast become wasted. So if you're investing your time in Google AdWords to promote a landing page, you need to have a clear call to action to capture the traffic that is being directed to that page, with the hope that they will leave their details in exchange for a fact sheet or even an educational booklet. We then suggest that you nurture this lead to build their trust and demonstrate your expertise, as studies show that only 2% of people are looking to buy that are looking online are ready to buy. So while others are simply searching for information. So social media. When we speak to many brokers, this is one really that does seem to be the latest shiny new object that many brokers want to be tapping into. And of course, that is understandable when there are over 13 million Facebook users in Australia alone that have their whole life profiled and their interests categorized so that we then can target our market accordingly. So let's start with social media as a lead generation source. There are numerous social media platforms, but we feel those that are most relevant to brokers to be Facebook and LinkedIn, and to a lesser extent, of course, Instagram. So similar to the internet, you do need to start with a presence. The difference here being that there is significantly greater emphasis on the content and engagement with your followers. So this is definitely not a set and forget medium. It requires your constant engagement. A presence is important, as many will be looking for your pages for validation. So the challenge with platforms like Facebook is that these platforms have historically been used for users for engagement with their friends, to see what they have been doing, and then of course their interests. So people would not typically go to these platforms looking for information in the same way that they would on the internet. But this has changed, with people now seeking the recommendations of their friends. This has been further reinforced with the introduction of Facebook groups, where people with a common interest come together. So within Facebook, you can either boost a post or create a Facebook ad. So a boost will allow you to boost an existing post to your followers and their friends, while an ad allows you to target an audience outside of your existing network. So over the years, Facebook has continually changed the rules around how you create your target audience. You were previously actually allowed to target people who follow particular pages that they assured you had a particular interest. Now you do have two options. One, the opportunity to demographically target people of age and etc., together with interests that they have expressed on Facebook. Or the second option would be upload a list of clients or people that have done business with you that you can upload into Facebook and select a look-alike audience. So while you may be successfully targeting the audience, the greatest challenge is actually getting engagement with the target audience, remembering that they are not generally looking for information. So then this requires a strong image and copy to attract the audience, a strong lead magnet or a call to action, a capture mechanism for their details, and then of course the delivery of that lead magnet. So Facebook have actually delivered software to assist you with this. So to be successful with Facebook, you do need to do a lot of testing of your ads to see one that attracts for the best results. Even when you have found what works, it appears that over time the ad can go stale, and you need to further tweak it for success. So while Facebook works best with business to consumer, like property brokers, those specialising in commercial finance may find that LinkedIn is the preferred platform, as it is associated with business to business promotion, given it is a platform predominantly used by users for business or work-related matters. And of course, similar principles apply here when using LinkedIn promoted posts. So it is our experience that you need to dedicate a whole lot of time to getting your targeting an advert right to be successful with this lead generation source. So for those that do crack the formula, have reportedly found success and a great return on their investment. However, given the difficulty in cracking this formula, this is where many have resorted to paying over other extremely high amounts of money to do their Facebook advertising for them. We've even seen people spending up to $2,000 a month. So advertising. Generally, we see that advertising has historically worked well for raising brand awareness and the promotion of offers and sales. While brand awareness and brand positioning are very relevant for brands that are well established, so for example Nike, Apple, Samsung, etc., for smaller broking groups that have very limited market presence in a relatively sense, it is difficult to get any traction from this type of advertising when using mainstream advertising channels like television and radio that are very costly. So advertising for brokers within their local area of expertise has more relevance when it is able to be obtained on very cost-effective rates. So this may be within your local school or sporting club's website or newsletter. However, we believe that results will only be obtained when this is on a reoccurring basis over long periods of time. So results are likely to be mixed with this medium. We view this lead generation source as unlikely to be successful as other channels, however, do not necessarily discourage it, as it may discourage it. However, do not necessarily discourage it, as it may potentially be in support of your local club's efforts of providing community activities. So if you do choose to utilize advertising to increase its effectiveness, you are best to be promoting something specific. So this could be an information session on essential tips for refinancing your home. So remember to pick your target audience. If you are advertising through local sporting clubs or school newsletters, your target audience is already likely to have kids. So first home buyers are not going to be reading your ads. While advertising is not our preferred lead generation source, if advertising is obtained at very affordable prices, it may deliver adequate returns on investment when purchased at affordable rates. Alright, so hopefully you're all still with me, and hopefully we have generated some thoughts around how you may be able to generate additional leads within your business. So as previously expressed, every business has its own unique characteristics, and accordingly there is no one-size-fits-all lead generation strategy to grow your business. So when determining your strategy to grow your business, you do need to consider a couple of things which I'll cover now. The first one, you need to understand your target markets and determine the lead generation channels most appropriate for these audiences. Second one, ensure that you have a strong lead capture and qualifying strategies in place to ensure your time is productively utilized. The third one, understand your journey of your prospect client. So from how they will be first identified through to your first meeting with them. The fourth one, establish how you will nurture the relationship and ultimately convert the lead into a client. The fifth one, determine how best to deliver your resource and the overall lead generation strategy in the most effective and efficient way to drive your return on your investment, time and money. And the sixth one, your ability to measure the success to determine if it is worthwhile to continue the strategy. All right, so if you're unsure of the answers to any of these questions, where to start, or how to formulate a deliberate lead generation strategy, then we may be able to assist you in seeking clarification to these questions. The best way to determine if we're able to help you or not is to book in for a free marketing consultation with one of our marketing experts. If we're not able to assist you, then we will let you know at the 15-minute mark, as we do appreciate that your time is valuable. If we are able to assist you, then of course the opportunity to continue you will be given the opportunity to continue the consultation. So to book in for a free consultation, you will receive an email immediately after the webinar with a link to book straight into our diaries. Or you may also choose to phone us directly on 9526 9999 and we will schedule you a suitable time. There will also be a link in the email to complete a survey, and we sure would appreciate your feedback as to whether we provided any valuable insight into optimizing your lead generation and conversion. If you were also after the free fact sheet on marketing strategies for business growth, please indicate within the survey that you would like to receive it and we will email it to you. I appreciate your time and hope that you have received some valuable insight from today's webinar. I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Bye for now.